Good morning. Hi. Hi, everybody. Good morning, and good morning out there in Love Streaming Land. So happy to see y'all. So glad to be here, and welcome to our service today. Before I pray, I want to welcome anyone who is newer or haven't been here in a while. So if you haven't been here in a while or you're newer, raise your hand. Hi. Hello, 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 hello. And yes, so Al is going to be bringing you some packets if you want one. It has a bunch of information in there. And those out there in Love Streaming Land, if you're new or haven't been here in a while, just let us know. I haven't greeted you yet, but I'll be on in a moment. And welcome. So let us take a moment to open with prayer, right? And settle in your seats, becoming still in this moment. Opening up, ready to receive in the stillness. We open up even more. And in this space we have created, this is where we pray from. God the good, that which is here and now, omniscience, everywhere presence. We are here here to receive our greater good, here to step into fully the power we have within us. And as we gently move through this experience, may we have a deeper awareness of the power of one, the power that is in us already as one. And for this, we are so very grateful. And so it is. And so we let it be us. Amen. Amen. And now today we have our diversity core value, and the words are on the screen. So I'm going to invite you to say it with me. Together, please. We embrace and model diversity, inclusivity, and equity with a commitment to practicing anti-racism, promoting social justice, and acknowledging and affirming the humanity and dignity of all individuals. And what does that mean, this whole equity, inclusivity, and diversity? If you look around in this sanctuary alone, you can see that, yes? And being at His Family Sunday, we have our youth in here with us for a short time, and they bring in a more diverse, right? From the little ones all the way up to the big ones. Some of you who still claim that you are like children. Because you know you are. It's all right. It's okay to play. And we just welcome that. We welcome the different ways that we walk in this world and know that it's okay to be who we came here to be. That's what our diversity core value is all about. Yes. And with that, we'll listen to our next congregational song. It's the call and response. Namaste.
Good morning, everyone. Blessings to you all. We are going to start with the music portion of our service today with the song, as Reverend Edith mentioned, Namaste. It is a call and response, so you'll see everything in the parentheses is your part, and it's easy. We've done this before. Feel free to sing along, stand up, kick line, wiggle in your chairs, however you are so moved this morning to join with us.
Weren't awake, you are now. Amen. All right, so transformational opportunities. We get a chance to grow and grow and grow every moment of our lives, and it all goes for the better. So jump on in. May birthdays. Do we have anybody who celebrates and anniversaries and whatever landmark? Abba! All right, so we have a May birthday. Are we singing? Okay, we're gonna. You ready, John? Yeah. All right. So, is there anybody else? Did we miss anybody else? Anniversaries? You right there. So celebrate these beautiful women and all the people you know in your lives who have a May birthday. So,
here we go.
Who?
You ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 1.
You know, they don't do that on television because they have to pay royalties for it because somebody got really smart and copyrighted it. And I don't think it was the person who came up with the idea. So, woo. All right, quarterly community meeting thanks. Thanks to all who attended the meeting last week and in person or in Zoom. For those who were unable to attend, you can contact the office and we'll get somebody to help you and take care of that stuff. Make sure you're up to date with what's going on. Life Celebration Garden Stone Installation. So if there's someone in your heart, in your life that you want to honor, respect, and just be a part of this great thing we've got going on here. They're building a beautiful memorial garden. Sunday, May 28th, following the service, we're going to be adding stones for our past ministers who have transitioned. That's a beautiful thing for us. If you want to do a stone, you got to do that. I think we may have gone beyond the 4-week mark now. But you get that stone, we'll put it in the next time. And so don't worry about that. Bible interpretation. So one of the things that's been reactivated here is wonderful classes where you have a chance to delve a little deeper into this metaphysical world we live in and that we're learning about and we're discovering. We have a Bible interpretation with the Hebrew Scriptures led by Jane McCarthy. Do you want to say something real quick? No, you don't have to. You went forward like you were in motion. And so I was like, go on. You don't try to stop Jane. If Jane's got it on her mind, it's happening. So,
Thank you, Brad. Okay, so Bible interpretation, Hebrew Scriptures. So we'll work a lot with metaphysical interpretation, which you hear about here in Unity. And so this is actually getting to the nitty-gritty of teaching you that process, actually that's been developed by Reverend Paul Hasselback, and many of you may be familiar with him. He wrote the book that we basically use these days in Unity, which is really a lot of it based on metaphysical interpretation. So I will try to take what Paul has taught me and apply it to stories, or teach you how to apply it to stories in Hebrew Scriptures. So that's my plan. It's Monday through Friday, the 5th of June, 10 to 12. It's on Zoom. And so I've got people from around the country and people from here at Gaithersburg. So it's a nice mix of people where you really get to be with like-minded Unity folks outside of here at Unity of Gaithersburg. So join us. Here you go, Brad.
Excuse me.
Yep.
On behalf of Jane and on behalf of the board, we're giving away free, just free classes. We're so determined to nurture this community. We are having 4 free drawings for the STE week. Come on, guys, give it to me. Let me know. All right. All you have to do is put your name, what kind of class you want to take, what time you want to take it. Everybody sign up. We have 4, but if we get enough people, we're going to talk to Reverend Edith. She's capable of doing most things, anything. She got, that special sweet juju. She might be able to get you in there a different kind of way. But what we want you to do, we want to nurture you like I've been nurtured, like Reverend Jane has been. Yes. So we want, like all the licensed university teachers, we want you all to be nurtured. I remember taking Bible a long time ago. It so blessed my heart. The book of Revelation so blessed my heart. These courses will change your life. So we've been doing this a whole lot, but we want full participation. We want a packed class, each and every one of class. She's teaching prosperity. Who else? We got a whole list of classes. All we want you to do is put your name, what kind of class you want to take, and we will take care of everything else. This is on behalf of the board. Thanks.
Thank you for that plug. Yes.
Thanks so much, ladies. We are full of powerful people in the congregation. All right, so going on. Healing and Wholeness is going to be led by Juanita Johnson, and that's going to be in June. I guess, is that part of SEE? Yeah, and there's just great stuff. Now, Cynthia, the courses that are going to be offered are on top of the box, so you don't have. So you can do this all before you leave here today. Get yourself into the lucky draw and see what happens. Sure thing. Okay. Our foundation is prayer, and we are so grateful to have people who step up and give an extra tithe to us with their time and talents as spiritual beings who have a big place in their heart to hear what's going on in your heart and what you need, whether it's joy, whether it's challenges, whether it's anything at all. Today's prayer chaplain is Dave Johnson, who's back there. He's got this like purple stole on, so you're this thing going around his neck, so you can find him in the crowd. In case he's also very tall. And we have the prayer team will contact you. It's a lovely ministry, and it's a great asset for us to be able to draw from as human beings. All right. So with that, we are at the Daily Word. And we don't have no ball. All right, so, I'm sorry. I was looking for all the youngins, but we got one. Here you go.
Hello. Free. I am one with the freeing, guiding force of God. When I think of freedom, I imagine a bird in flight, soaring above the earth. As the bird glides, it seems to effortlessly move through the air. Then it flaps its wings, moving upward and forward against the force of gravity. Likewise, I open my mind and heart and feel the freeing force of God within. This force is powerful and peaceful, and I give myself over to it. As I do, I overcome stifling feelings of stress or doubt. I trust in God, and I move forward and upward with renewed purpose and confidence. Just as a bird overcomes gravity to fly with purpose, I overcome the challenges and circumstances of my life to find my purposes and live from my divine nature. I am free. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? Hebrews chapter 13, verse 6. I think so, too.
I think she's on next.
Okay, so since this is Family Sunday, I have a book. And if any children or children at heart want to come down here so I can read to you, that would be super awesome. And remember, I said children at heart. So any of you who are children at heart, if you just sit down you go. That's great. So, yeah. See, we have children at heart too. Yes, you can sit right there. Well, he took your space. Make a little room for the child at heart. There you go. Uh-oh. Okay, so the name of this book is The Power of One. And the author is Trudy Ludwig. And we want to thank her for giving me permission to read her book. So you can see the power of one. It's just one person, one little kid. Looks a little bit like you, right? You think? And let me find the first page. Here we go. So this book is entitled The Power of One, Every Act of Kindness Counts. And it says, sometimes one can feel like a small and lonely number. But don't let this little number fool you. One is a lot bigger and more powerful than you think. You think that? Maybe? Yeah, a little bit. After all, is the starting point of change. So one, after all, is the starting point of change. See that little drop? One drop, just one drop changes things, right? Then all of a sudden it's like a whole lot of rain. Just one drop. You ever felt that? One drop and you want, it must be getting ready to rain, and then you feel like 5 drops, and then it's like a bucket of water fell on you, yeah? One good listener can make the smallest voice heard. You see that? One good listener. Uh-oh, you okay? Yeah. All right. One shy smile can lead to a friendship. You ever had that happen? Someone you didn't know and they came up and gave you a smile, and then what happened? You smiled too, didn't you?
I just said hello, and then the person just wanted to be my best friend.
Oh, wow. You said hello, and then that person wanted to be your best friend?
Yeah, I just did
Just a little bit out the window. See? Have you guys ever had that happen? Yeah, you just said hi. Yeah. I was watching Prince Louis at the coordination yesterday, and his little smile and hand out the window of that very expensive carriage. One sincere apology can help heal big and little hurts. Have you ever had somebody that kind of did something to you and then they said, I apologize, or I regret that happened?
Yeah,
and didn't? He had that happen? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it felt better, didn't it? Yes? Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, that's just a picture. Mm-hmm. One warm hug can lift our spirits up when we are feeling down. Yes, that's why we like to hug, isn't it? That's a lot of huggers in here. So when the grown people want to hug you, just know it might make them feel better. Maybe not you. One thoughtful idea can bring a community together. One handful of seeds can sprout into a garden. Look at that. Like our garden outside. You like gardens? Well, we have a garden outside, and it's getting, it's in a process of beautification. And so in like a couple weeks, you're going to see all kinds of more flowers. Right now, it's having a lot of growth that we might not want, and we call them weeds, but some people eat them for dinner. Okay, so just to shore this up at the end, wait. Here, let me go to this one. Acts and words of kindness do count, and it all starts with one. So when we have acts of kind words, sayings, gestures like hugs, it only starts with one. So each one of us can make a difference. Okay? That is the end of the book, Power of One. Thank you very much. Thank you, young people. Young at heart. See y'all later. Go have fun. Don't eat candy.
One, two.
If I need a friend, would you take my hand? Would you run away? Would you take a stand? Would you leave me out? Would you let me stay? 'Cause it's what you do, and it's what you say. It starts with one voice breaking through, and before you know, a crowd will grow and stand along with you.
And change the world and share the sun.
It's the power of one with the strength to be brave. When you stand up to wrong, there's a life you can save. It starts with one voice, then opens the gate. If we just make the choice, we can end all the hate. The power of one that refuses to wait. The power of one. If you always judge only what you see, then you'll never know that there's more to me. If you let me in, I could play a part. Put away your doubts, open up your heart, and it's easiest to turn around and run. And the night is always darkest just before the rising sun.
You can change the world and share the sun.
Oh, it's the power of one with the strength to be brave. When you stand up to wrong, there's a life you can save. The power of one, it opens the gate. If we make the choice to end all the hate. The power of one that refuses to wait is the power of one. If we let fear and doubt always shut people out, the healing can never begin, and we never get the chance to let love in. The power of one with the strength to be brave. When you stand up to wrong, there's a life that you can save. It starts with one voice that opens the gate. If we just make the choice to end all the hate. the power of one that refuses to wait, the power of one, no, it's never too late, the power of one.
How about it for our wonderful music director, Deletta Delepsy, and our wonderful house band. Yay. Now, throughout our lives, we probably, I'm guessing, have had someone who's made a huge difference in our lives. Yes? You think? Yeah, I see a bunch of heads nodding. So I want you to take a moment to think about, I want you to go back to childhood and think about someone who made a difference in your childhood. Just take a moment to think about it. Bring that person up, whoever it is. You got it? I see some smiles happening. When I was in the 3rd grade in Gary, Indiana, at George Washington Elementary School, I remember the school, it was a white building. I had a teacher named Mrs. Bozeman. And she made a difference in my life because she brought in poetry for us. I think it was the first time that I had really gotten in touch with poetry as, you know, something that could be touching and moving and also inspiring. She brought in poetry from authors who were African American. And there was one named Paul Laurence Dunbar. And there was this one poem I remember, Liza, Liza, bless the Lord. And oh my goodness, it just in me thinking about it right now, I think about how much that, just knowing that made a difference when I heard other poets come out, especially like Dr. Maya Angelou. And it didn't make me become a poet. It probably helped me not get in trouble. You want to hear about it, don't you? So Miss Bozeman was also the teacher who would spank people. I can't tell you it wasn't me, but it was. And she had a paddle with holes in it. Yeah, she'd take me in the bathroom, and I don't know why I don't know. I think I talked a lot. I had a lot of questions. I have a question, and you know, because I had a need to know. And that wasn't okay back in 1960, whatever it was. Back then, children, remember we were talking about that, children would be seen, not heard. I wasn't trying to get heard, I just had a question. And so sometimes that question led to the bathroom with the paddle, with the holes in it. Now they don't do that anymore, thank goodness. But it made me behave, and I then listened to the poem from Paul Laurence Dunbar. You know, there are children who have made a huge difference in this world, yes? And I was thinking about one you may know of, Greta Thunberg. And when she started off, she was protesting the Swedish parliament in an effort to get them to do something to prevent climate change. And she became well known for being a little bit of an activist. She even spoke in front of the UN when she was 16 years old. And she keeps making a difference in our lives now. But there are some others you may not know of. There's a young guy, well, he's not young anymore, but his name is Nicholas Lowinger. And when Nicholas was a tween, he met a brother and a sister who were experiencing homelessness. And they would take turns going to school so that the one that went to school had shoes to put on and the other one didn't. And then they would switch off, and then the next day, the next kid would go. And Nicholas was touched by who they were being. And he gave the boy a pair of basketball shoes. Some of us call them tennis shoes, but they're not tennis, they're for basketball. And the kid then was able to, both of them were able to go to school. Well, Nicholas was inspired because of that to start an organization called Gotta Have Soul. Gotta Have Soul, S-O-L-E. And what he did in doing this was providing shoes to unhoused children. There have been over 100,000 shoes donated at this point. And one child, the power of one. The book we just got through reading, it talked about the power of one. Like one handshake, one hug, one phone call, one email, one text, one TikTok. I know, some of you don't know. One Twitter. Yeah, it used to be 40 characters, I think. I don't know, whatever it was. Now I think it's 140, but whatever. And that brings me to share with you about another young person named Marley Diaz. And when she was a child, she didn't see any books that were written that had people that looked like her, girls, brown. And she decided to collect 1,000 books written by women. And she started a Twitter phenomenon called hashtag 100 Black Girls Books. And just think, it was birthed out of her frustration for not seeing anyone like her. And to date, it has been over 13,000 books. And she even wrote a book, and the name of it is Gets It Done, and so you can, as a guide of, how's this go? All right, let me just start all over. Get It Done is the name of the book, and the tagline underneath it is, and so can you as a guide to positive change through activism. Okay, I got it all out. Now, Mother Teresa said this: if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. So look at it. These young people, they were young when they got this divine idea to just start something. They weren't trying to make a big, huge movement or anything like that. They had something that really was calling them forth to do something that I think only they were divinely inspired to do. And sometimes I think we don't do a thing because we wonder what are other people going to think. Is it going to really take off? Is it going to make a difference? We just have to know that it does make a difference, whatever it is, and that it is okay. Now, when we know that we have that power, that the power resides within us, then it inspires us to move forward. Now, this month of May, our power of the month, the spiritual power, is power. And it is the ability to master and control something. The disciple is Philip, and he represents power over our thoughts and feelings. And the color is? You got it. Purple. Purple power Philip. Purple power Philip. That's how I always remember the triple P's. Makes me really happy. Now you know, because I just taught purple power Philip. Okay, you got it? Yes. And we're having this example of power in a children's book, but also power in children as they become the demonstrations of who it is that we are seeking to be in the world. Now, I have one more person. His name is Jalen Arnold. And Jalen was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome, Asperger's, and OCD. I know, the triple. I know. And Jalen was bullied as a kid by his peers for being different. And he was very anxious when it was what happened, and the bullying made the symptoms worse. You know it. But Jalen, here's the power of one. He started the Jalen Challenge Foundation at 8. You hear me? 8 years old. And it was to educate, he wanted to educate kids on recognizing bullying behavior and understanding each other's differences. To date, he has reached over 100,000 kids. Now, this is a kid. Tourette's syndrome, Asperger's, and OCD. And some people might want to say, oh, something wrong, don't do it. Yeah. And somehow, he tapped into the power within him to say, wait a minute, what can I do? Do I allow myself to, be in that space of they don't like me, and so I'm going to feel bad about it? And that's not to say he didn't feel bad. But he came up with a possible solution. Now, I'm guessing that this solution, it touched him in a way that then touched other people, and he got to those 100,000 young people. Lao Tzu, he says that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So these young children, they took one step. And how many times is it that we take a step forward and then we take 2 steps backward? Yeah? Now 1 step forward, 3 steps backwards. And sometimes we take that step and it goes back so much that we are stopped, that we think, no, I can't possibly do it. But we have our examples here. We have Greta, we have Nicholas, Marley, and Jalen. They are like God in a body that walks and walks. And even if they take a step or 2 or 3 or 4 backwards, they keep walking, and they keep walking, and they keep making a difference because they can't help it. They cannot help doing what they're called to do. Now, in the Revealing Word, our book of metaphysical terms, Charles Fillmore says this about power. He says it's the mind and the body of man, I'm going to say woman and whatever you identify as, that has the power to transform energy from one plane of consciousness to another. And that this is the power and dominion implanted in us from the beginning. So we have this ability within us to do and to be everything and all things that we can be. Now, that power doesn't say that whatever it is we're called to do in a moment, and we do it, that it doesn't shift to something else. Because sometimes we can have one thing that we're doing, and we get it done, or don't, and then we get inspired with some other new, wonderful, remarkable, I was going to say crazy, thought, like crazy, like good crazy. And each time we get that and we act on it, we're tapping into the power of power. Each time we look at that, listen to the still small voice, we get that power to power, right? So the spiritual power of power. Now, that can happen with the thought of someone else as an example, like these people who used to be children, and I don't think any of them are children now. And it shows us what the Bible verse I'm quoting from for today comes from Psalm chapter 119, verse 105, and it says, "Your word is the lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. So think about that for a second. That the words we have are so powerful. that it lights up the path in front of us to say, yes, you can, yes, you can, yes, you can, yes, you can. And when those tapes start, you know, those old, tired, worn-out tapes say, no, you can't do that, then we just do. We just do it over and over and over again. We have the power to tap into our spiritual power and allow it to work in and through us in any moment of any day. So when I go back and I think about Mrs. Bozeman, for instance, I don't think about the paddle. It only comes up every 5 or 10 years, and I'll remember, oh, yeah, right. No, don't want to do that again. I think about the poetry. When I read something that some poems out there it speaks to my heart. When I see people who are able to withstand all odds, that each of us have the ability to tap into the power that is greater than ourselves, and I'm not talking about like out there, right? Like God up in the sky. Okay. You want to believe in God in the sky, that's fine, if that works for you. But what about the Spirit of God that is here in us? Yes? That there is this spiritual essence of each of us that is moving through us now, that brought us here, that woke us up this morning. Today was a I don't want to get up day. And the alarm went off at 5, and I went, ooh. And it kept calling me and calling me and calling me, and I kept trying to sleep, and it said, no, you got to get up. You have something to do. And that power moves us forward. It moves us forward in our day. And sometimes we listen to it. And what I mean by listening to it is, in listening to it, there is something that says, go this way or go that way. And this way leads us in the right direction, and that way doesn't. Okay? Like, I don't know what happens when I'm in a car and I'm driving somewhere and something says, get over in that lane. And all of a sudden, there's some person, I don't know, they could be a 17-year-old, they could be a 45-year-old, and they go, whoop, whoop. And it's so fast that if I had not gotten over, you know what I'm talking about, right? That I would have been hit. Now, it doesn't mean that this doesn't happen, because it does. I'm just saying, in the moment of the thought that we get, yeah? Like sitting in my office last week, and I was getting ready to pour me a little bit of coffee and put it in the microwave, and all of a sudden the lights went out. I went, what happened? What was that? And then it dawned on me, oh, the lights went out. Damn, I didn't get to eat my coffee. And that was the first thought, right? And here's the thought. Before I came to work that day, I got this inner knowing to heat up the coffee more, and I didn't listen. Shoot. Some of you know I love my espresso coffee machine my children bought me for Christmas. And you know how long I suffered in that? What I didn't listen to go this way and instead went that way? About 4.5 minutes before the lights came back on. And I mean, that whole 4.5 minutes, I was thinking about the coffee, and I was walking around this doggone church by myself, and I was like, what's going on here? Why are the lights out? I need my coffee. And then all of a sudden, we went poof. And I said, okay, thank you. And we suffer. Or how are we able to be with something when it does happen and not beat ourselves up? Yeah. Like I did for the 4.5 minutes. But the power within us is leading and guiding our path. And when things do happen, if we go back in our brain and go, oh, brain, okay, I'm having this situation happen. What can I do now? Okay, I'm going to bless that person who almost cut me off and hit me. Because I don't know what it was, see? In me shifting that energy, right, that Charles Fillmore is talking about, the mind and the body of man have the power to transform energy from one plane of consciousness to another. Here's where my mind will go. Maybe that person was going to be a parent, like that person's spouse was on their way to the hospital and they needed to get there. What if it was somebody's mother that was ill and they just happened to be going fast? Or what if it was a doctor that had someone in the emergency room and they needed to hurry to get there? You see, we have the power to shift a thing from one plane of consciousness to another. And when we do, it just opens up. And our path is lit and made free. And it takes practice and practice and practice and practice and practice for us to get there. It takes practice for us to know that that power of one can shift and save the world. Like our examples today. And sometimes it seems so bizarre. Like, how could that person do that? Right? Why would a kid want to go out and get 1,000 books? Because we're moved by something. Why would a kid with Tourette's syndrome, Asperger's, and OCD want to have children learn what it feels like to get bullied? Why? Because we're being pulled by it from that consciousness that is already within us. You see, one seed can start a flower. One seed can start a tree. One tree can start a forest. One forest can oxygenate the world. One candle can light up the darkness. Yes? One drop of water turns into the rain. One drop of rain gives us all the green we can see. The power I have comes from me. I would like you to say this with me. The power I have comes from me. Again, the power I have comes from me. The power I am starts with me. Together, the power I am starts with me. The power I live lights up the world. Together, the power I live lights up the world. The power I be lets the world see. Together, the power I be lets the world see who I came here to be. Who I came here to be. Now I'm going to pull that last two pieces together and then have us bring it all together. The power I be lets the world see who I came here to be. Together, the power I be lets the world see who I came here to be. Ultimately, you guys, it's about how we're being. It's the way we're touching others. It's the way that we're being that inspiration, that we're willing to say, I have the power to do that. Right here. It starts in our thoughts. That I could think a thing that makes the thing happen. That I can think a thing that makes the thing happen. That we have the power to be in the world, the power that takes us to shift this planet. Remember, It takes just one. And that one is you. That one is me. And our affirmation today will assist us with taking it into our world and our week. And I'll say it once and then invite you to say it with me. I am the one who powerfully makes a difference in my life and the world. Together, I am the one who powerfully makes a difference in my life and the world. Again, I am the one who powerfully makes a difference in my life and the world. Last time, one more time. I am the one who powerfully makes a difference in my life and the world. All right, let's take that into a time of silence as we prepare for our time of meditation. I invite you, if you haven't already, to join me in closing your eyes. And if you would rather keep them open, I invite you to have like a half a glaze. Close your eyes just halfway and focus on one spot in the room. But there is no spot where God is not. And now I invite you to take a gentle breath in and out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and gently breathing out. One more time, breathing in and gently breathing out. Relaxing. Relaxing into this now moment. Relaxing into this moment in a way that has us really, really have the experience of the innate power within us. That power is lighting our path right now. That we get to understand that all we need is one, and the one is us. So in our mind's eye, I invite you to think about like you're walking down a path. And on the side of that path, you see lights illumined, lighting your way. And as you are walking, you notice that there is a light before you. And the closer you get to the light, the more immersed you are in the light. So much that you realized that the light is everywhere. Behind you, in front of you, above you, and below you, and to each side of you. And this light is shining brightly. And in a moment, you realize that there is no separation in the light and you. That you are the light. And you open up to this awareness in this moment that there is this power within you that is, you're in it. You're in it so much that all you see is light. And you recognize the power that is within you. as light. And as we take a journey within, we sit with this light above us, below us, in front of us, behind us, to the side of us. And we have an experience of the power of light as us. We take this into the silence and we say to ourselves, I am a powerful light. I am a powerful light. I am a powerful light. In the silence, we join and go deeper together. I am. I am. I am light. I am a powerful light. And in this expanded state of consciousness, we bring into this space anyone we want to share our light with. You can bring that person by speaking the name out loud or speaking the name within. I am the light. I am the powerful light. We bring into this space Keith, our office administrator, office manager, AV extraordinaire, sharing our light with him. Sharing our light with the people in this country and in the world. For we are the light that lights the path. And as we gently bring ourselves back to the space and this time, may we know that that light is us. And we tap into the power of that power within us. And for that we are thankful. And so it is. Amen. Namaste.
hang around. Stand up or sit down and believe we can change the world. Together, we can change the world. Together, you and me. What kind of love can conquer disease and change the world? Change the world. What can I do to make poverty history and change the world? Change the world. Let me be the one to start a revolution. Let me sing my song to the people of the world, to the children of the world. It all begins with one, the power of one, joining the hundreds of millions of people believing in one, the power of one. Don't hang around, stand up or sit down and believe in the one. 'Cause we can change the world together. It all begins with the one, power of one, joining the millions of hundreds of people believing in one, the power of one. Don't hang around, stand up or sit down and believe we can change the world. We can change the world together. We can change the world together.
Okay, so here's the time for our tithe and love offerings. And our tithes is a personal gift, the power of one, like the difference that we make. But more importantly, it demonstrates what we want to give to, like where we're spiritually connected, where we feel we've been spiritually fed in some way. And I know I was fed here. I know that when I go over the time that I committed. It's like, oh, I'm really in it today. So I'm going to share a little bit of my tithes and love offerings because of, well, I think I should up my tithe just because I went over. But I just want to just say what it feels like to give. And that's, it couldn't happen if we weren't all here together, that we're giving and receiving, that there's nothing that we don't do that we're not giving it back. So you're giving to me, I'm giving to you, we're giving to the kids, they're giving to us. And that's how we keep on rolling with this. And so I invite you to know the power of our giving. And I'm going to pray for just a second. Spirit, loving presence, God of our own being, we're so grateful to receive our good, that we know that as we give, it comes back to us tenfold. That we give because we know the universe is going to pour us out a blessing. We're so grateful for knowing this. We're so grateful to share are good in many, many ways. For this, we keep on giving. And so it is. Amen.
So I'm going to tag on to that. When I was a young guy, I made a lot of money. I made more money than I knew what to do with. And I didn't understand that that was just a gift from the universe. And one day I was really realizing that I was being selfish, that I had 5 televisions in my house. And I was like, oh my God. And so I said, this is ridiculous. I said, well, I went, so I started tithing. And I started tithing, and I said, you know what? If I tithe, I can have 5 TVs. It's okay, because I have given back to God what it was given to me. Life was not always jumpty jolly, and I didn't make a lot of money, whatever. And but I always managed to tithe, no matter how far. Well, I've hit a slump. I've hit a bump in the road where I'm not tithing. And life is not as good as it was. And I was really, okay, so I've already told you. I mean, I was going like, what is wrong? What is wrong? And I went, you're not tithing. You're not tithing. And you may not be able to pay all those bills, but you should tithe. Because when I tithed, I never didn't have enough. I always had enough. And so that's my story. So y'all, dig deep in your resources and the good things you've got. And if it's, if it's monetary, if it's spiritual, if it's a give of who you are, give it back. We have lots of ways to do it. There's a drop box in the back of the room that you can put stuff in. And if you look at the back of your chairs, those of you who are here, you can pull an envelope out and fill that up, or you can text and give. And they might even, if you mail it to them, they might even take it. So do that, and know that there is. And and check back with me in a while and see if I've figured my life out. So that's it. And I want to say hi to Keith. Hi, Keith. We love you. You take care, and everybody say a little prayer for Keith this week. He had a little bump in the road, a big bump in the road. That is, we're all with you, buddy. Take care.
And I love offering blessings.
So I'm not blessing anything. So here we go. We have a wonderful blessing that we should say together. And it is, divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am so grateful. Amen.
1, 2, 3.
Everybody. We enjoyed our Sunday school class, and what did we learn, you guys?
How we use the power we possess.
And we made powerful wands that can change thoughts, our thoughts. There's one.
Yeah, this is the wand that we created today. Hey, we learned about the power we possess and that you can do anything.
Including changing our negatives to positives. Praise be to God. Yes.
Blessing, I am the light of the world. I live as the light.
You are the light of the world. You live as the light. I am the light of the world. We are the light of the world. We live as the light.
May each of us know the power that is within us, that each of us takes this power into the world. And so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everybody.
1, 2,
My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. Leaves down inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Everyone has a story. Everyone has pain. When we strip away our masks, we find that we're really all the same. Those little things we say and do that mean so much. Smile is a connection. It's a simple love and touch. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling. It leaves down inside. My church is conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Today I'm gonna ask myself, what more can I do to be a radiant child of God and let my love shine through? I'm gonna let my heart be my God, give it back.